orchestrate it and become one with ourselves so we can really fully be in that place where we can look after our clients. So what I'm going to do is show you 10 postures that we're going to do. It is very gentle and all of you can do it. It's very, very gentle. So I'll get right to it. And then when I come back on, I'll show how we can mold them all together. And I'll also show 2 other postures that will alleviate from standing for periods of time and then also from sitting for long periods of time. Right? Okay, so let's get to it. So we'll just get you standing. And this practice can be done standing, sitting, and lying, so it's an excellent. But we'll start with standing. So we'll just let our feet just naturally fall where they are. And I'm just going to take this off so you can sort of see details. So we're just here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to imagine that we're going to be lengthening the lower back, middle back, upper back, and we're going to bring our arms up. So the idea is we want to create lots of blood flow. So when we have blood flow, energy flows. And when we lift and lengthen, that actually draws the blood up. So we're just here, but if we really reach up like a monkey hanging from a tree, then we can really allow that blood to flow, to move stagnant blood. So we're here, and now just like Joanne was talking about, how we want to calm our nervous system, we can bend the knees slightly, we can relax our pelvic floor, because right now what we want to do is traction the spine, really lengthen. And then we're going to look at these parts. So while I'm talking, I'm actually doing this, forcing you guys to hold this posture. You're going to start to get really warm. So we don't have to do crazy postures like downward dog. Just, we have 5 minutes in between our client sessions. These are the things that we can do. So we're lengthening the spine. Then, to calm our nervous system, we're just going to think about our pelvic floor. So we're going to relax the pelvic floor, relaxing the genitals, perineum, anus, like we're having a really good orgasm, right? And then we're going to relax our belly so you can give it a bit of a roll. So just so you can roll up or roll down. Yeah. Working with our enteric nervous system, the gut brain. And then we're going to roll our shoulders. Consider the elbows, wiggling our fingers and toes. We're going to make just a nice figure 8 with the hips. You can go one way, you can go the other way. And then from there, you're going to wiggle your jaw, wiggle the lips like kissing. Yeah. And then the eyes, you can try to send them up to the third eye if you can. So when you stretch one side of the eye, you're reciprocally relaxing the opposite side of the eye. Then gyrate, just make a nice like figure 8 with the neck. And then rolling the eyes, wiggling the face, smile, and then just relax. And I should have did this where I should have said, how do you feel before and after?
So much more relaxed.
Yeah, right.
Good, beautiful. Okay, so then the next bit is we're going to do forward flexion. So the idea is we don't want to be hunching over, but we want to lift and lengthen. So the same idea is, I'll just show that this will be the beginning phase. We'll come in, we're going to now go into forward flexion. So just like this, so bring your pubic bone forward and lift and lengthen the spine into a forward bend. And then in its fullest form, you could put the chin in, but right now you're just going to look forward. And to test if you're in the right posture, if you put your weight on the balls of the toes, because you don't want this, you want this. So if you were to actually lift up, you could. Yeah?
Yep.
Good one, yeah. So here we're actually doing the radial nerve stretch. So this is actually stimulating the large intestine meridian. Then from here, we can do all those parts again. So you can think of your fingers and toes, you can wiggle your knees like skiing, you can make figure 8s with your hips, you can relax the pelvic floor muscles, roll the belly, roll the shoulders, consider your fingers and toes again, make a nice figure 8 with the neck, just wiggle your jaw, stick your tongue out, make noises, roll the eyes, and then from there just yeah. Okay, so that's flexion. Now we're going to do back bend. So then when you're in this posture, you're going to move back. You move from the core always. So just like they say in different cultures, you've got the dantian or the khanda, always moving from this part. So we did a forward flexion. Now we're going to go back in extension. So what you'll do is you'll lean back, pubic bone is forward, and it's like you're lifting up and over. Now don't do it in the fullest form, would be a full back bend, but for more, just, the safest way is just chin in with the palms out. And you're leaning back and you got your knees bent and the pelvis is sitting, so we're looking after the spine. We look after the spine. Most importantly, the rest of the limbs will be okay. The most important thing is the spine. Then we're here, we're going to bring the palms out, and that's actually stimulating the lung meridian. This is the median nerve stretch. We never want to stretch nerves, we just want to lengthen them. So we're here, and then again, you can do it with your eyes closed because now you know them. So you can close your eyes and you can consider your fingers and toes. Wiggle your knees a bit to make figure eights with the hip. Roll the belly. Rolling the shoulders. Wiggle the neck around just gently like a figure eight. Rolling the eyes around. Stick your tongue out. Wiggle the jaw. Make kissing noises, yeah. Love it. And then make saliva and swallow. So what these are doing is you're actually accessing the parasympathetic nervous system because you're accessing dual control of the conscious and unconscious. Yeah. So we're in back bend. Then, I'll just turn around so you can see, then you're going to roll, we'll just relax for now. So we'll just come out of that. And then just see how that feels. You guys feel lots of warmth, right? Yeah. That's what we want. Lots of energy flowing. Yeah. Okay, the next one, still okay for time?
Yes.
We're doing, I'll just turn this way so that way you can see. You're going to now do a side bend. So you want to move from here. So you're going to lift and lengthen. This arm is going to push up and the right arm is going to push down. So it's just like making a side bend. And again, you want to reach because blood is going to flow up. And then this arm is depressing down. And then from here, what we'll do is I'll start to show a little bit of the expansion and contraction, but maybe I'll save that for later. So here we're just gonna then, you're balancing on one leg, and this is where it's beautiful because you could just work with the spine, or you might add a leg, or you might, there's so many things you can add on. So we're here, and we're gonna just relax, have the knees bent, make sure the pelvis is neutral, and relaxing, the pelvic floor, the abdomen. You can roll the belly, wiggling the shoulders, connecting your fingers and toes, wiggling the neck. Stick the tongue out. Wiggle the eyes, roll them around up to the third eye. Make saliva swallow, wiggle the jaw, and then wiggly lips like kissing. Beautiful. Okay, and then back to center, and then you're going to take the other arm just to meet that other arm back to reset, and then coming back down. Okay, so what we do on one side, we'll do on the other side. So now we'll do the other side bend. So we're here, and now move on to the other side. And with this is beautiful because you can just do the spinal movements, or you can add sounds, you can add color, you can close your eyes and think of your chakras. You're in between sessions with your client, and you had an overwhelming experience, and you have to see someone in 5 minutes. There's a really good ways to do this. Spending the time doing this, especially in the sunshine on your veranda, just to really gain that rejuvenation and vitalization. So depressing this arm, reaching the opposite arm, and then thinking about all those parts. So you can even test it, balance, wiggle the ankles, consider skiing with the knees, relaxing the pelvic floor. You can make figure eights with the hips, rolling the belly, wiggling the shoulders and the elbows and the fingers. Okay, and then we'll bring that back, this other arm to meet the other arm while you're looking straight up, and then back down. Okay, so we've got 2 more to go, and then an expansion and contraction. So now we're going to do the twist. So the twisting is, again, just feet where they fall naturally, pubic bone forward. You're going to bring the knees over your toes, and you're going to twist over just to this side. Okay, so now what you'll do is you're twisting to the right, the chin is slightly in, and the left ear is lifted to the ceiling. Here, you're going to, so you could fully, we'll just go to guess. You're basically looking at me still with the chin in towards your chest and the left ear lifted, and then we're going to just focus on those parts. But this time, we'll do that. We'll just focus on the parts. So just consider your feet and hands, and you can move them. So you're wiggling each finger, your thumb, index, middle, ring and pinky. Wiggling the knees, relax the pelvic floor, relax your hips, relax your shoulders. and the neck and the face, and then we're just going to retract back. So when you come back, what you want to do is you want to change the dimension, because what happens is if we keep twisting in one direction, then we're going to wear that one bit and the rest will not move. So we want mobility in all the little increments of the spine. So when we twist, we can either go into a forward bend as we come back, or whatever feels good, maybe a back bend as you come back. So you change the dimension, give yourself a big hug, and then you come back up and then down. Okay, let's do the other side while we have time. So we're gonna bring your pubic bone forward, balancing this side now. Yep, and chin slightly in with the right ear lifted. And it's beautiful here, like you could even add this arm, it's free, you can reach it around and even rub out the ear, things like that. So many things you can add. So you'll be looking at me, so your eyes are looking, yeah, that's okay. You're looking at me with the chin in and the ears slightly lifted to the ceiling. That allows that counter twist. So we're here, and then we consider all those parts, feeling really grounded into the earth, knees slightly bent, hips and the spine is free. You can add elements of rolling the belly, so everything is connecting. You're connecting all parts of your being, fully connected inside, feeling really nice and warm. You do not have to do crazy yoga postures. This is just enough. And then I think that's enough time, so we'll just change the dimension, come back to the center, and then back down. Do I have a couple, that's it? Oh, 2 minutes, great. Okay, so we'll do one more thing. So the spine can expand and contract. So this is a more advanced complex, but thinking of all the organs and the deliciousness we have inside here, we want to move. So if you imagine you're between a wall, you can think of expanding this part. And of course, energy flows where consciousness goes. So if you're thinking about the lower back, middle back, upper back, then you expand the chest, you expand the belly, and then you contract, 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 and squish, squish, squish. So it becomes a circular breath. And actually, you don't even want to think about the breath. Sometimes when you look at the food on the market and you wonder what is that, and then you look at the yoga that's out there, it actually can be quite detrimental. What I've learned is the natural breath is the most efficient, let's put it this way, the yogi does not count his lifespan by the number of years he lives, but by the number of breaths he takes. So the breaths need to be smooth and short and actually less. So we're not hyperventilating. So we're just gonna think of this part, think of this part, think of this part, and that's when the arms come up. The chest expands naturally, you don't even have to think about it, and then you expand the belly like a Buddha. Just let it all hang out. Yep, and then your arms come back down. And then you do the same thing, you're gonna come into flexion. And then you're gonna come back to full back extension. So I'm moving through all of the nerve tensions. Come to side bend. Okay, then meet the other hand, come back up and down, and then come to the other side. And twist. And back to center. Give yourself a nice hug. And up and down. And twist to the other side. And back to center. You could raise heels if you feel you need to. You could do squats. Just be gentle. Okay. Great. I think that's it.